Hello, everyone. It's Mr. Martin. Gonna walk you through today a couple things. Number one, how to get logged into our new class that we are going to start on a website that is called Open Processing. So on Schoology, I have already put a link for you. That is your invitation link that's going to bring you to the course. And then you are going to have to type in this code in order to join our class. Once you get there, going to come across a page that's probably going to look something like this, maybe a little different because I'm looking at it from the teacher view. It may prompt you to make an account. When you do that, use your AdApps email, and then the password you use is up to you, but I would use something that you're going to remember because if you forget, I'm not going to be able to help you. Once you're all set, logged in my class, in the top right corner, you're going to see a spot that says Create a Sketch. You're going to click on it. And that's going to open up this console. So what we are going to be using, what's nice about the open processing is it gives us a couple different options of code to use. We are going to use this code called P5JS, which is actually a library of code that is used for JavaScript. And it's similar to an old actually still kind of use code called processing, which is more for creative, artistic drawing, making 3D shapes, and some basic animations. We are going to use it for doing some drawing because we're going to work on a project a little later that involves us doing a little bit of drawing. So when you start, you can see it gives you already a basic code that they've already put in there for you. And if you play it, you can see it's a drawing code where you are drawing circles wherever your mouse drags. Which is kind of fun. You need to click, just dragging it across, and it draws a whole bunch of circles. Not exactly what we're going to do. We can refresh it, blink the screen out. But still kind of cool. So we're going to get started just learning our first sketch today. So I'm actually going to go ahead and I am going to delete out everything. So you can start with a blank canvas. And to get started, the first thing we're going to have to do is create our canvas to draw on. So we are going to type in function setup. So we're going to set up our work here. Don't forget the parentheses and brackets, similar to the JavaScript we already did last Hexter, except it's got some pre-programmed in library of code for doing some drawing. We're going to make our canvas. We're going to make it 400 by 400, close off the parentheses, semicolon, and close off that bracket. And we're going to create our function for drawing. So we have to do another function draw, and brackets. And this is where we're going to put in our background. And what we're putting in here is actually a background color. And so you can play around with this one a little bit. This is just going to give it a pretty basic background. But you can actually put in RGB colors if you wanted and space out 3 different numbers for red, green, blue. If you wanted something more colorful, you can go ahead and do a Google search for different RGB codes. I'm just going to keep it pretty boring and plain. It just makes a background that's 400 and gives us that nice grayish background there. Another thing you can do is you can set it up as the screen width and the screen height. So whatever type of screen you're using, it fills the screen. That's a fun one to do as well. Also going to draw in here, actually, we're going to add a little ellipse. So ellipse is actually the shape that you write in when you are trying to do circles as well. And the ellipse is going to ask for 4 different inputs. X and Y coordinate, which I'm going to put in at 50-50, and then the height and width. And since I'm doing the height and width the same, this is going to come out as a circle. Voila. And again, you can play around with the X and Y coordinates. You could go I don't know, 150 and see where it moves it. Moves it to the right a little bit. Remember, we made our screen 400, 400, so if we wanted it exactly in the center, we will have it 200, 200, right in the middle. So it's x coordinate, y coordinate, height of the circle, width of the circle, which is what we've got right there. And you have a nice, pretty circle. So you can add some more little fun things in here. So we are going to actually stop, take a pause real quick, take a screenshot of the circle running in the code right here, take a screenshot of it right here, and save those in your photo library, because we are now going to delete a little bit. This one's going to be a little more fun. We're going to skip ahead, and we're going to, in our function draw, we're going to do some if. So we're going to go if mouse is, that's a capital I there for is pressed. So if we're pressing our mouse down, then we're going to fill 0. I did an O there, didn't I? Fill 0, semicolon, and then keep that bracket, and then we'll go else, actually, move that bracket in. We are going to fill 255. Close the bracket. Always check your brackets. Ellipse. Mouse. Capital X there. Mouse. Capital Y. 80. 80. Okay. Semicolon. Bracket off the whole thing. So, take a look, and you can try and guess what this is going to make here. Let's take a look. See, in our little canvas, it's going to leave a circle and draw circles wherever we make our mouse. If I press the button, it changes it to black. I let it go, it's going to be white. I like that, but I'm going to change the canvas here a little bit. Let's go. I want more drawing room on my canvas. Fun little drawing, little circles. So when you have this done, I want you to pause. I want you to take a screenshot of this spot right here, drawing in your circles, a screenshot of the code you've put in. I want you to load that up as well. And the last thing I want you to do is just to take this basic code that we did here, kind of our first little drawing program, and I want you to play around with it a little bit. What happens if you change the fill colors?
Ever to the office, please?
Ignore that part right there. What happens if you change the fill colors? What happens if you change the fill on the else if it's not pressed? What happens if you change the size of the circle? Maybe make it smaller, maybe make it bigger, maybe instead of an ellipse, you look up how to do some different shapes. Maybe you try a rectangle, which is going to work the same, except you have to do the width and height right here as well. Notice for the XY coordinates, we just put mouse X, mouse Y, so it's wherever the mouse is, that's where it draws. And it draws it continually every time the mouse is moved. So I want you to do a little playing around with it, a little customization, and take a screenshot of kind of your favorite one that you've changed around. So all in all, that's going to be a screenshot of the original code that we put in there, just the very first circle, a screenshot of this with it drawing and a screenshot of what you customized. Turn in those screenshots for me on Schoology. Good luck, and please don't forget to like and subscribe.